Alright everyone, welcome to Shift on Film. My name is Vladimir Jean-Gilles. I am the film section editor for Shift magazine, and today we're going to talk to you about the Oscars. We're going to tell you our point of view, our predictions, what's going to happen on February 28th. And joining me today we have our host, Lisa Martel. How are you, Lisa?
I'm good, how are you?
I'm doing very well, thank you very much. And Mathieu, how you doing, man?
Good.
Good, alright. So without further ado, Lisa, get us started.
Alright, well, the 88th Academy Awards ceremony presented by the Academy of Motion Pictures Arts and Sciences will honor the best films of 2015 and will take place on February 28th, 2016. After having seen the Golden Globes results, what are your predictions for Best Actress? Vlad, how about we start with you?
All right, Best Actress. So who do you have nominated? We got Kate Blanchett.
Yep.
Who else? Brie Larson, of course.
Yes, for Room.
And Jennifer Lawrence for
Joy. Yeah.
Well, just with those names, the first thing that comes to my mind is obviously Kate Blanchett, because Kate Blanchett is just a powerhouse when it comes to acting. There's not a lot of actresses that are on her level. Even when you look at up and coming actresses, you can see that in order for them to reach the level that Kate Blanchett is at,
right?
They're gonna have to buff up their resume. You know, she's been doing this for a while, and it wouldn't be her first win. So, but that being said, if I look at those categories, who was in the best movie out of all those actresses? Brie Larson for Room.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I completely agree.
So that one's very tough, but
I wouldn't sleep on Saoirse Ronan. Her performance in Brooklyn was something that I haven't seen from an actress that young in a while. What she brought is a girl who's torn apart between her home and her new life, between two different men in her life, and what she was able to convey, the feelings of homesickness, the feelings of being alone, it was incredible. So I think she's a real dark horse. She's not in the front. She's not the front runner. She's not the person that everybody's talked about. But I believe that she actually really has a chance in it. Although, of course, Brie Larson is my pick to win, because Room is by far my number one movie of the year. It is the best film, hands down, in my opinion.
I'm going to completely agree with you on that. And in contrast to what you say about Kate Blanchett, with the experience that she has, there is room for new actresses, for up-and-coming actresses like Brie Larson, who gives a standout performance in Room. And I have to say, I know it is a rare thing for an up-and-coming actress or a brand new actress who has emerged into this this scene of films and movies and everything else, that although it is rare, she does have an amazing chance of winning the Oscar. It worked for Jennifer Hudson, who won for Dreamgirls, and I'm saying that my pick is Brie Larson for this film. Room was bang on.
So you saying Brie Larson?
Yes.
You saying Brie Larson?
Yes.
All right, I'm gonna stick to Kate Blanchett, but we'll see. February 28th, we'll see. So what else we got for categories? We got Best Picture. Let's look at Best Picture real quick.
Yeah. So the Best Picture nominees, we have 8 this year out of a total of 10 that could be there. Some of them include Mad Max, The Big Short, Spotlight, these big heavy hitters. Now, the front runners, from what I've been hearing on the internet and just talking to people, that's Spotlight, The Revenant, and The Big Short. The Big Short wasn't mentioned in the beginning when the nominations came out, but it just recently won, I believe...
I know you won an award.
It won a award. I don't remember exactly which one it was, but it has momentum going into it.
Yeah.
And it talks about a subject that I personally believe many people are not educated well enough on. It talks about the economic recession in 2008, how it happened, exactly what's going on now. And it's a subject that not many people know, and I think people should start to know. So it tells a great story. And not only does it do it, provides the information really well and teaches you, but it's also really entertaining with some great performances, and it's
some
surprisingly
amazing
emotional.
cameos. Yeah, very emotional. But you know something else I really like about The Big Short, because my background is finances. That's why I went to college for and everything. So going to this movie, of course, it's about the financial crisis of 2008, and it does such a good job educating the audience about what went on and why certain things happened the way they did. And coming out of this film, I saw it with Axandre, who's also part of the team. You guys are gonna get to see him later on. I saw with Axandre. Axandre has no financial backgrounds whatsoever. We walked out. He understood everything about this movie. It's technically financial economics for dummies. Yeah. It really is, and it's a complicated subject, especially since Adam McKay has a background in comedy in general, right? And he was able to merge those two styles, dramatic and comedy, to merge them together into one movie, and which brought us quite an amazing movie at the end of the day. But as far as Best Picture goes, I'd have to give it to Spotlight. Spotlight was not just a good movie; it was heart wrenching. I had such a hard time watching this movie, not just because it didn't just pull the string. It just made me realize that, oh my God, like those things happen. Actually, one of the so no spoilers, but so pretty much this movie is about what happened within the church and the scandal with priests and the children being molested and all that. And oh my God, that last shot, that after credits, the after credit scene, I would say was impossible to watch. The fact, so it's not an easy subject to talk about, but he was able to do it, and the actors, the performances in it, fantastic. Everybody just give it their 100%, and they were able to provide something that was mind-blowingly good. Especially for the subject matter, which is not easy to talk about. Pedophilia is not something that people want to hear. And it's, just what they were able to do with this movie, the performances, and all those elements blended together, to me, I'll have to give it to Spotlight.
We're just talking about the technical side. Spotlight, a lot like The Big Short, it would have been so easy to be bogged down in the details. There's so much stuff going on in both movies.
Yeah, it really is.
There's names of random people. There's witnesses. There's
and it takes place
all this information.
It takes place throughout several years, also, right? So
and for both movies, I would be fine with both of them winning. To be honest, both movies present their information really well, and in a way that allows you to fully comprehend it and hit you emotionally. Yeah. So,
but you know what? At the end of the day, I'd be okay with any of those movies winning, except Bridge of Spies.
I was not a big fan.
Except for Bridge of Spies. But that being said, like you said earlier during our pre-production meeting, you mentioned that there's so many different genres of film being nominated this year, right? So you got The Martian, you got Spotlight, you got The Big Short, and they're very different in and on themselves. So it's just so hard to just pick one. Yeah. You know what I mean? So
well, my pick, I'm gonna go with The Underdog, because this is not a typical movie that you would see win an Academy Award with all the genres that you're mentioning and with all the different movies that we have nominated this year. But I'm going to say my pick would be Mad Max Fury Road.
Yes.
And the reason being for that is I went into this film not knowing what to expect, something I've never seen on screen before. Yeah. I hadn't seen anything. I didn't know anything about it. This movie blew my socks off.
Literally.
I can tell. Literally. It blew my socks off. I was sitting on the edge of my seat. Every scene. Oh, Charlize Theron with Tom Hardy. Just their acting in itself, as well as the scenic aspect of it, the cinematography, everything about this movie. I'm going to have to give that a Best Picture win.
So hard to pick.
It is so hard to pick.
It's a visual feast for the eyes. The explosions, the vehicle chases, the subtle use of CGI, like people are always talking about.
That one truck that gets powered up by this guy playing the guitar.
Everything.
So insane, man.
This movie, honestly, I have to say, should win an Academy Award. And if it's not for Best Picture...
Well, I'm surprised that it actually got nominated, because a lot of people thought that the Academy Awards were gonna just snub it. You know, just leave it aside, and because it's not the type of movies that they usually go for.
No, it's not.
But it got nominated, and not only that, it's getting momentum, and people are talking about it, and it looks like. I mean, at first I just thought that George Miller was just gonna be that guy who gets nominated, but just as an honorable mention, you know. But it seems like he might actually have a shot, a pretty good one too. So. We'll see.
And another thing I think about is how many people have you met or friends that you know when you ask them, have you seen Mad Max? What's their reaction?
Hell yes. And it's awesome.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I would say. Yeah.
So for the other categories, we got now Best Actor. So let's talk about Best Actor.
So for Best Actor, we have Matt Damon for The Martian, Leonardo DiCaprio for Revenant, who is getting a bunch of attention, Michael Fassbender for Steve Jobs, Bryan Cranston for Trumbo, and Eddie Redmayne for The Danish Girl. So Vlad, who do you think is your pick for the...
Leo.
Yeah.
Leo has been receiving as many Oscar nominations as Meek Mill's been taking L's.
Yeah.
It's been insane. This guy, personally, I think it's not the best movie that he's been in, The Revenant, but it's by far one of my most favorite performances from him. What he did in The Revenant was insane, and not just in terms of acting, but just his presence and what he was willing to go through. I mean, this movie was hard to shoot, and they did it. And I don't know. I mean, we live in Canada. It gets cold here, and I remember watching the movie thinking, "Oh my God, no! I'd stay in my house and I'd crank up the heat, and I would not go through any of that." But he does, and this movie is again. There's a lot going on about The Revenant, but if we're talking about Best Actor, I think Leo by far gave one of the best performances of his life, and I'd be surprised if he doesn't win it. Again, it's a very stacked. This category is very stacked, but I don't know. Except for Leo, I don't know who else I would give it to. What do you guys think?
I think we're on the same page with Leonardo DiCaprio for the win. I wonder if this is something where Leo has thought to himself, what do I have to do to get an Oscar?
He put himself through so much stuff. He slept in a horse. He covered himself in horse guts.
He ate a liver.
Yeah, he ate a liver. He sat in freezing cold for days at a time. Yeah, he's sitting there. He's like, if this doesn't win me an Oscar, I don't know what will.
But you know what? I remember when we were watching the Golden Globes at Axandre's house, Lisa said something that really blew my mind. So he won the Golden Globe for Best Actor.
Which don't mean anything.
Which, I mean, it's a Golden Globe, but it doesn't mean much. But still, he won. And he received a standing ovation. And Lisa said, you know why they're giving him a standing ovation? Because they know he deserves an Oscar.
That's right.
They know he deserves it. So it's not even a joke amongst fans. It's actually a well-known reality throughout Hollywood itself. People know that Leo deserves an Oscar, and when you see all his peers cheering him up and saying, go for it, you're like, wow. And he also just won a
Screen Actors Guild Award, which is his fellow actors saying, Leo, we think you were the best actor this year. We're going to give it to you. Now, does that have any bearing on the Academy? Because a lot of these actors aren't members of the voting Academy. No. But that just shows that people are supporting him. Now, if I can be honest, I just want him to win just so people will shut up about saying that Leo hasn't won an Oscar. I really liked Leo's performance. I don't think, that it's his best ever. And I'm not even sure if it's the best this year. I think it's a toss-up between Fassbender and Leo. But I think it will go to Leo just because he hasn't won one yet. Momentum's in his favor. People are. It's really in their minds. Like, if Leo doesn't win this year, is he ever going to win? Which obviously, if he doesn't win this year, he will eventually because he's a fantastic actor. But I think he will this year just based on his prior stuff.
So we all agree.
We are all in agreement that Leonardo DiCaprio is going to take the Academy Awards by storm with his performance in The Revenant.
But I won't be surprised if he doesn't win. I'm just putting that out there.
No. So if we're looking at now the category of Best Supporting Actress, so let's look at that.
Best Supporting Actress has
Jennifer Jason Leigh.
Yeah, Jennifer Jason Leigh for The Hateful Eight. Kate Winslet for Steve Jobs. Alicia Vikander for The Danish Girl. Rachel McAdams for Spotlight. And Rooney Mara for Carol. So, Lisa, who's your pick?
Well, I'm going to go with the lovely Kate Winslet. She has already won the Golden Globe, and just because of her experience as an actress, everyone loves her. She is in her prime all the time with her film choices, her, just her elegance on screen even. Just everything she does is on spot. She is such a wonderful actress, and I feel like she will take this win, as she did with the Golden Globes.
Matt, you go for it because I'm torn. I want to hear your point of view first.
See, I would say Kate Winslet because she is spectacular in this in Steve Jobs, but she won the Golden Globe, but she hasn't won anything else after that. And I know a lot of the other awards don't have members who vote in the Academy, but a lot of it is about momentum. It's like a basketball team. Like my Raptors, who are on a roll, they're keeping on that momentum, and they're going to keep winning. And I believe it's going to be Alicia Vikander this year for the Danish Girl. Now, I wasn't the biggest fan of the movie, but her performance really carried that, even more, in my opinion, than Eddie Redmayne. She is the backbone of that movie. She carries that movie, and she keeps it together. And she's won the Screen Actors Guild Award. She's won the Critics' Choice Awards. So she is really coming into this, this Academy Awards with a lot of awards on her back, saying, "Hey, look, I won this. Why don't I just win the Oscar?" And it really has been her year. She has been in so many incredible movies this year. She came out of nowhere. She was in nothing in 2014, and all of a sudden she's in like 6 major studio films. So I really think it's Vikander's year.
I'll have to go with Vikander as well. First of all, the role that she's nominated for is, of course, for drawing blank. The Danish Girl.
Danish Girl.
And it's the type of movie that the Academy Awards usually go for.
Yeah.
The only problem with this movie is that although the performances are great, it's not very good.
No.
But again, it's. I just think that again she's been in so much this year. Ex Machina,
Which I think she should have been nominated for.
she should have been
over
nominated.
this.
Yes.
And I feel like one of her best performances that I've seen, she is a newer actress coming on top, A Royal Affair,
Yeah.
for which she did perform because she is Swedish.
Yeah.
With Michael.
With Mads Mikkelsen.
Mads Mikkelsen.
That was in 2013. It was a foreign film that not many people saw. But
No, but it was an amazing film, which everyone should see.
Yeah. So Alicia Vikander.
Kate Winslet.
Kate Winslet, however, I wouldn't be surprised with Alicia.
Wouldn't be upset if she
I
won.
wouldn't be upset if she won because I do think she is fabulous as well.
I want to talk about just Jennifer Jason Leigh for a second, who not many people are talking about because reception for The Hateful Eight has been lukewarm. The box office hasn't been great. I think it was overshadowed by Star Wars a little bit. But for those who have seen Hateful Eight, she is incredible in this. She plays.
Nice.
She's.
Yeah.
The Hateful Eight is really like a mystery thriller kind of thing, and it takes place in one room. It's really like Clue, the movie.
Yeah.
And she is she's the one who the entire story is centered around. You don't know whose side she's on, what exactly she's planning, and the way she
Without her being the main character.
Yeah, without her even
Very
being
true.
the main character, and even though she's not in the forefront the entire movie. What she does when she is on screen is incredible, and I think she might have a chance. You know.
Yeah. So what else we got? So best supporting actor.
Yeah.
So we got Christian Bale. Who else?
Mark Ruffalo,
Ruffalo.
Mark Rylance for Bridge of Spies, Tom Hardy for The Revenant, and my favorite, Sylvester Stallone for Creed.
You know what? Here you go. You Sylvester Stallone. Even before watching The Revenant and all these other movies, I knew that Sylvester Stallone deserved it. It is by far, I believe, his best performance in years.
By far, no, ever.
Very true. Because what he was able to do with this character, so now the character of Rocky has evolved. It's not the same character from Rocky 1, Rocky 2, and all that. And he's at a different, even Rocky Balboa.
Right.
He's at a very different stage of his life. And this time he's no longer the center of the movie. He's a supporting actor.
Yeah.
And the movie focuses
Right.
on Creed, right? And what he was able to do we could see so much vulnerability in the character that he's playing, but with the same layers that we've seen in the previous Rocky movie.
You still see he's a little bit silly there. The one line of,
So
where's
confused.
the cloud? Where's the cloud?
Yeah,
Like,
still confused.
yeah,
Still
he's
confused.
He's so confused, Rocky, but he's old. He's vulnerable. He's something completely different we haven't seen from Rocky before.
I think an amazing thing about Sylvester for this year is that these films were made how long ago? If we think about it.
It'd be nuts because he was nominated for I don't know if he was nominated.
I'm not sure if he's nominated for actor, but I know he was nominated for Best Picture, Best Directing. It cleaned up at the awards.
Yeah, I'm drawing blank on that. But again, like years and years later, he's back in this role, and he was so lovable as a character. You know, it's weird to say because Rocky has always been so tough, although he always had that layer of sensitivity in him. But when you watch Creed, you just want to give him a hug.
Yeah.
You know, you just want to give him a hug and just hear him talk about how things were back in the days and everything. By far, my favorite movie with Sylvester Stallone, and even more than Rocky or Rambo, any of them. He was excellent, and I don't see anyone else who deserves it as much as Sylvester Stallone this year.
I was going to say it's amazing for him to come back to this character so many years later and see the performance of a lifetime that he's given at his age especially, and with the film franchise that everyone knows and loves with the Rocky series. And so I can understand why people say, you know, this is his year, this is what he's going to get, this is what he deserves. But I do have to say, with Spotlight, the film that we did watch, although I'm not as big of a fan of Mark Ruffalo's previous films, I do have to say his performance in Spotlight was exceptional.
But the thing with Spotlight is that he's not. So we received it for Best Supporting Actor, but who was the lead actor in Spotlight? I think they all
that's
were.
a good point.
And he might be a little bit overshadowed by Michael Keaton, exactly, and all of them, because the amount of screen time that those actors and actresses have shared was pretty equal. And in terms, his performance was amazing, but we could say the same thing for all the other actors and actresses. So I don't know. I don't think it stood out more than I mean, if in Spotlight you could look at all the other actors and replace Mark Ruffalo with maybe Michael Keaton or any of them, and I don't know. I think although I really like his performance and I would like him to win, it'd be interesting and be really good for us to see that. But I don't think that's his.
I'm gonna have to agree with that. I think that personally I wouldn't even put anybody from Spotlight in supporting if it were up to me, because I think that Spotlight's performances, the strength is in the ensemble performance rather than
if
one
we had
specific
a category for best ensemble
it
cast,
would
then
automatically go to Spotlight. Another issue that I have with this category is Christian Bale. Same thing. You could put Steve Carell in there. You could put Ryan Gosling in there for The Big Short. The strength in there is the ensemble, the story. It's the strength of the movie, as we said before. The information it's giving, the entertainment value it has. So there's no doubt that Christian Bale and Mark Ruffalo aren't great actors because they're spectacular. But this year, I think it was.
Do you know what? Though, not to interrupt, but that's the only, because if I look at all those categories, I don't really have a lot of potential winner that could upset me.
Yeah.
Right.
You know? Except for this category, I would be mad if Sylvester Stallone doesn't get it, even though the other performances were amazing. I want Stallone to win this Oscar because he's deserved it.
And you can't picture anyone else in that role
but
Sylvester
Stallone. No.
So if we can replace the other actors in the other films that are nominated, but we know that Sylvester Stallone is Rocky, then I think we're going to have to say and give it to Sylvester Stallone.
So basically, Sly for Oscar, right?
So our very last category, Best Director.
Sorry.
That stuff.
Best director?
That stuff. I don't know.
Yeah.
That I really, really, really don't know. Because as you mentioned earlier, the nominees in each categories are very different. They approach very different genres. And in terms of filmmaking, they're also quite unique. So you got George Miller. Yeah. You got Iñárritu.
Yeah.
Who else you got?
You got Lenny Abramson for Room, Tom McCarthy for Spotlight, and then Adam McKay for The Big Short.
Right.
Yeah. Oh my God. Hey. I really don't know.
Yeah.
To be honest, I have no idea.
I think this is the tightest category. It could go to any one of them, and I would be like, that's a great pick. But then for the other four, I'd be like, but they really deserve to win too. And great directors from this year were even left off this list. Like for the aforementioned Creed, Ryan Coogler, I think he deserved a nomination. But I don't know who I would take out of this list either.
That's the thing. Who do you take out of that list? And, oh, man, it's hard. But if you have to put your money on someone, who do you go for?
I'm going to give it to George Miller. Just because it's another lifetime achievement thing.
Yeah.
What he's done with Mad Max in the past. We were just talking about how Sly returned to Rocky. George Miller's returning to Mad Max 30 years
It's
after
very true.
Thunderdome.
Yeah.
That is a good point.
This is the director of Babe, Pig in the City, and Happy Feet, and now he's going to a grueling desert where he sat in 6 months in sweltering heat with barely any water, with gigantic cars, which he built. Well, he didn't build them, but...
I'd like to see it.
Yeah.
5-year-old George Miller building.
George
I'm
Miller-
gonna blow this up.
George Miller picked my ride, right?
Yeah, pick my ride.
But he is dealing with these gigantic cars and explosions and flamethrowers and double guitars with flamethrowers on the end and a guy in a 100-pound suit or something like that. What he was able to do with Mad Max Fury Road, that movie is just so hard to direct.
Oh man,
I would give it to him.
Yeah. Okay. Well. George Miller, Mad Max.
Yes.
For the same reasons. I like you sold me. Again, out of all of them, there's no one I would remove from that category. But if any of them win, I'd be totally fine with it. There's no one who doesn't deserve it because 2015 was amazing for movies.
It was.
It was.
Yeah, it was amazing. And every movies that are in the category for best director, or all the directors that are nominated in that category, the movies that they've directed were so difficult to make. Whether it's just the telling the story, or the cinematography, or just be able to blend all these
obstacles.
I mean, but again, George Miller, like you said, it's a lifetime achievement thing, and I give it to George Miller.
And like you were saying with the comeback from his previous films, how many years later from what he's done to what he has accomplished with Mad Max, I'm going to have to agree with George Miller for the win with the two of you. Not to say that the other nominees don't deserve an Oscar with everything such as The Revenant. Look at what they had to go through with their filming and everything that they had to endure. And Room, astonishing with what they had to work with in that small location.
Getting the performance out of a 7-year-old kid, portraying emotions
with
that
Jacob Tremblay's performance.
I don't even think some adult actors can portray the stuff that that kid had to do, and that all comes from Lenny Abramson. But
he should get a nomination for his category.
Tremblay, yes.
So that's it for our predictions, folks. Thank you very much for watching. Again, that was Shifter on Film. My name is Vladimir Jean-Gilles. Lisa Martel to my left. Mathieu Chin-Quee to my right. Don't forget to follow us on social media at Shifter on Films. We also have Axandre Lemours and Chok and LA, who's also going to be part of the show eventually. And again, guys, thanks for watching and see you next time. Bye-bye.